Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
What's going on, Fantasy Champs? Let's start breaking down Week 6. Put Week 5 behind us.
Week 6, dude?
Yes.
I feel like I blinked and it's week 6.
It's coming.
Doesn't it literally feel like last week was Lions-Chiefs, week 1?
It really does. I don't know what happened to it. I wish the lead up to the season was as fast as whatever the hell this is. It's like lightning.
Seriously.
But anyway, I'm just trying to enjoy. I'm forcing myself to enjoy every single week. I love October. It's like my favorite month of the whole year. October, November. Not because my birthday happens to be late November and Thanksgiving is also my favorite holiday. Like the fall is my time. It's my time of year.
Right.
I'm waiting for these freaking. I'm looking outside right now and the leaves are still green. I'm kind of getting pissed off, nature.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to turn colors, but you live in New Hampshire.
Further up north, and
you live in New Hampshire, so you got yellow trees and
it gets dark early.
Yeah, oh God.
We're already a season ahead of you guys.
Yeah, for real. But anyway, on this episode, we're going to get you in and out usually with a Thursday night preview. We're going to break down this Thursday night's game, which I'll get to the matchup in a second. Before I do that, which is good and bad. Good and bad, this matchup. I don't know what to feel. But anyway, before we jump into that, check out our website, fantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any other podcasting platforms, please leave a review and share this pod with your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, comment down below any questions you may or may not have for us. Well, let's jump into that Thursday night preview game. Are you ready for this week, Rick? You ready for we haven't made our trades yet. Rick and I are in deep negotiations.
Whether it's with you or someone else, I'm probably going to make a trade this week.
Whoa. It needs to be me because I'm itching. I'm itching to make a trade. Everyone's holding. Everyone's holding.
Listen, I will try to make a trade with you, but I'm going to do what's best for my team. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Anyway, Thursday night football, Broncos at Chiefs. So we have one good team and one horrendous team. Over under is 50 friggin' points. Rick is 5-0 in the predictors on Thursday night. I am 3-2. I wish I wasn't so bad at this. So don't listen to me if you need betting advice. Holy crap. But I would take the under in this game, by the way. I think the Broncos are going to score like 10 points. There's no way they reach 50.
Would probably take the under too.
Yeah, this is an easy smash under. I'm going to do that right now just so I can get ahead of it because this is 50 points. Who do you think scoring points in this game? Oh, it switched. It's already 49. I should have friggin' bet.
I would still probably do the under at 49. I mean, the Broncos' offense hasn't been their problem.
Yeah.
It hasn't been great, don't get me wrong, but statistically, Russ is actually having a really good season.
Bet the under.
But yeah, I'd probably bet the under too. This feels like a 17-27.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
over 50. No,
it's not.
Oh, it's 44. No. Sorry.
17-27.
Quick math.
43.
I thought a side note on the Broncos coming into this game, right? The Jets just beat them 31-21. Whereas that was a score, correct?
Yep.
Or was it 31-24? So. Anyway, everyone was getting all lubed up about Nathaniel Hackett and Hack got the win. Yeah, his offense sucked. They won the football game because of a pick friggin' 6. Hackett had nothing to do with this. And Breece Hall is good at football. So there you go, Nathaniel Hackett. You complete waste of space. You ruined an entire franchise in 45 seconds. Got called out by an NFL great at the position of head coach. Way. Even Robert Saleh went and shook his hand and said something about staying humble to. I just can't. I can't with the Jets sometimes. Oh, they're such a joke of a franchise and a joke of a coaching staff. Oh my God, they deserved. I don't condone Rodgers' injury because I don't wish injury upon anyone, and I hope Rodgers comes back because I like Rodgers and I think he's fine. I laugh at the Jets for having that happen to them because it's just Jets. Stupid people. Anyway, I just thought that was the most ridiculous thing on the internet. Everyone was like, "Oh, heck yeah!" What? What are we doing?
Stay humble.
What are we doing, dude? Oh, it was literally in the handshake post game. You could see it, like they had a direct camera on Salah, and he shakes Sean Payton's hand and says, "Stay humble."
Yeah,
I don't.
I mean, he did kind of go a little far.
He did. I agree with that. But like
if he was on TV, it'd be one thing. But when you're a coach in the NFL,
I will say, Tom Brady did a speaking thingamabob where he's getting asked questions to this group of people, and he was talking about his days with the Patriots and how he always needed something like to fire him up.
Yeah, bulletin.
And
material.
bulletin board material, and just any little thing to make him like hate the other team and not like them. And I'm like, there's not many players like that to do that stuff anymore. But the Jets, they latch on, baby. They latch on to any little stupid thing.
Yeah, they do.
So good for them, I guess. But so stupid that they're celebrating when Hackett didn't do anything. He just sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, I needed to get that out of the way. But anyway, we got Broncos at Chiefs. So the Broncos will probably get blown out again.
Probably.
This is going to be a gross game from a Thursday night football perspective, but we get to watch the Chiefs in primetime again. Can we just get more interesting Chiefs primetime games? Like I'd rather watch the Chiefs against a team like the 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys, or is that hey, you know what? Third best team in the NFC right now.
Yeah. That was a good game.
Good football. Yeah.
I will say though, I'm kind of like at the Chiefs to me, and it might be partly because they've been good for a while now, but they are a much more boring team to watch than they were like 3 years ago when they had Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, it's like check blocks by Travis Kelce, and then he just does like a hook route underneath.
Yeah, it's the big plays are gone. They don't do big plays anymore. It's all like
MVS occasionally catches a big pass.
Yeah, occasionally, but it's not like it used to be where it was just Mahomes throwing 500 yards.
That's what happens when you have
it down the field. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So over under is 50, which means they probably anticipate some points to be scored in this game. Which means that there's probably going to be some good fantasy performances. I'm interested to see how bad the Broncos really are. Based on what people have been saying about them. But anyway, we'll start with the Broncos because they are on the road, and we'll break down different matchups. KC's defense been really good. They're good at stopping the run. They're good at stopping the pass. So this is not going to be an easy game for the Denver Broncos to move the ball. Russell Wilson has been kind of I would say, a edging streaming option, and a possible start depending.
He's a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like he's kind of like edging that like week to week start, but not sure yet kind of thing for me. He does have a tougher matchup against Kansas City this week. Are you rolling with Russell Wilson this week, or are you calling it a sit this week?
I don't love it.
Okay.
I think he can get you, like 17 points.
Okay.
So if you're okay with 17 points, then sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's getting a big week.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to start him, that's fine. But there's two negatives. Like, I think Casey's defense is good. And I think that Thursday Night Football is a bad week to start players. And I don't think this offense has been particularly great. So,
well, last week we had 2 top 5 quarterbacks in Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, hey, I could be wrong on that. I don't know. This is definitely later in the season when it starts getting a little bit.
That's true. It's more like the week 13
when the season starts grinding on people's bodies and stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean, Russ is. I think he would be, if you had to. He's a fine start this week. Like because they're gonna be playing from behind. Russ is gonna have to make some plays. He's got really good numbers on the season. He's thrown, I think, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions this year.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Yeah, he
he's
hasn't been
having
the
a
problem. I will
great
say this is
season,
where
bro.
numbers do lie a little bit. He hasn't been bad. Don't get me wrong. He has had a good season, but like statistically, he's like a top 5 quarterback right now, and that's not true.
He's just like Kirk Cousins. Oh, I didn't say that out loud, did
You would be right about that as well.
I? So yeah, he's been actually performing pretty well. And for fantasy football, all we care about is what these numbers say on the screen. So,
That's
um,
true.
yeah, he's had a good season so far. He's like Rick said, he's a top 8 quarterback in fantasy football. Maybe you're running him out automatically. I don't know, but I would be okay with starting him this week if you had to. But if there's a better option available, I'd stick out with that. Running back position, who's starting in this game? Is Javonte back?
That is a great question. Javonte missed this week.
Yep.
With an injury. So I don't know if he's going to play. Even if he does, I
Hold on, let me
I
check
don't.
the practice report for today. This is on a
Yeah, I
this is
don't
on a
know.
Monday. They don't practice on Monday, but they release practice reports. So, I don't see any information. He was inactive for Week 5's matchup. But he was listed as questionable. He had a hip injury, so I think he might be able to play this week. I'm not sure. If he does play, do you want to start him?
Not really.
Okay, I would imagine they probably keep him out if this is like a short window for the week. But there's
Now,
no.
what about McLaughlin?
I'm not interested. I was gonna
He had
say
19 last week.
okay.
He had 18 this week.
Oh, what the frick? Against two
He's
very
still not having a.
well. Never mind. I was gonna say
He
very
had
good
a
teams,
he had a touchdown this week. I mean, he's not having a lot of work, but he's been the better player between him and P Ryan,
yeah.
and he's a pass catching back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
So
pass.
I would pass if Javonte's in, but if Javonte's out, I would be okay
I'm
with
passing
starting.
against KC. I'm passing.
Exactly what the Broncos are going to do, and he's going to get 5 dump offs and have double-digit
No,
points because
no,
of it.
no, 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 no. I'm not starting anyone else outside of Javonte Williams, and I don't even know if I'd start Javonte because of the
I
injury. But
don't want to start Javonte.
yeah, I'm not. I don't really like any of the running backs. But to take
Okay.
Rick's advice as you will.
I'm not saying to go out of your way to
Sometimes
start
a
him.
running
I'm not
back
saying
has
that.
a couple of good weeks in a row, and he's due for a really bad one, and that's going to be against Kansas City on Thursday Night Football.
I don't necessarily disagree. I wouldn't trust it. I don't love it, but I would still do it if I was in a pinch. Plus, it's the receiving with him. Any receiving back, I feel differently about.
He's not even getting that much
I
receiving.
like those
work,
receiving
though.
backs.
That's the problem. Like he's gotten like 3 for 32, 3 for 21, and his plus side has been the fact that he's caught 2 touchdowns. Like it's not.
But look at his
happen.
efficiency, though.
Yeah, that's great.
10
Fine.
yards a carry, 7 yards a carry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's dandy.
If Javonte is out,
That's fine and dandy.
he will get like 12 to 15 touches, I think.
You've got a guy with a 33% snap percentage relying on a touchdown.
Again, I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying if you're in a pinch, I would do it.
If you're in a pinch,
He's better than freaking P. Ryan.
Option. Well, P. Ryan blows. Sorry, P. Ryan. I didn't mean to do that to you. All right. Anyway, let's move on to the next position. Hopefully that advice give you take it as you will.
Mm-hmm.
We got Judy, we got Sutton, we got Mims. All of these guys have had decent fantasy performances this year. Judy's getting about 5-6 targets a game. I think it's the same for Cortland Sutton. It just kind of looks like Russ back in the day when he was throwing to receivers. It depends on the week, kind of thing.
Yep.
Mims is
like this week. He was Troutman,
yeah,
which we'll get to. But.
Right. But Mims seems to be like this guy. He seems to have taken the place of Tim Patrick, who is their like flanking streak guy on the outside. Using
KJ Hamler too. He's like
KJ
both
Hamler,
roles.
yeah. So he plays that kind of role. So he can provide like a big play in a game. And if you're desperate and you need a big play, like Mims might be a guy you can go to.
That's not something I would trust.
It's not something I would trust either. Sutton has had 13-11, 19-11, and then 2, so he had a bad game this week against the Jets. But he's been consistent on a week-to-week basis, getting about 11 to 15 points a game. And then Judy, since coming back from his injury, he has been kind of consistent in that same boat, 5, 13, 8, 11. So, I don't know if you want to start them, But I feel like if you have multiple flexes or you have a flex spot available due to a bye, either one of them is a good play. Against KC, they'll probably get a lot of work, but I don't anticipate both of them going off. So you might start one and get a bad performance, and then the other guy does well, or it could be vice versa.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think either guy. I'm not like in love with either guy. But you probably are starting either one, especially if you have multiple flex spots. If you have like 2 flex spots, you're in a deep league.
Yeah.
You're probably starting Judy or Sutton. So I feel okay about it. Kansas City, like they might be trailing, might get some trash time points in there, but I don't love it. Judy hasn't been great. Sutton's been better. But I will say Sutton has 3 touchdowns and Judy does not have a touchdown yet this year. So the last 3 weeks, Judy has 13, 8, and 11 without a touchdown. So if he can start getting touchdowns, he's going to have some good weeks. But it's hard to trust anyone on the Broncos right now.
Adam Trotman's the tight end for this football team. I don't start the tight end. Sorry, I'm not gonna. He did have a good week this past week, though.
He did after 3 straight weeks of 0.
Yeah, so I'm not interested in Adam Trotman for this game. Like I would keep if you want to keep an eye on him to see if he has any form of success moving forward. Then yeah, but I'm not starting him in this matchup on Thursday Night Football.
I'm not either.
All right, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. They got the big boy, the best quarterback in the freaking league, Patty Mahomes, running in circles away from defenders, throwing the ball sideways to some guy named Cornell Powell.
Who?
He's a practice
That's what you
squad
say, exactly.
He's a practice squad guy. Yeah, I should probably better to say Justin Ross, but he's got no receivers on this football team. Patrick Mahomes, good. You probably drafted him in the second round pick. You got to start him. What are your expectations for this game against Denver?
I like him. I like him a lot. Probably going to be
25 plus.
What is it?
25 plus in the 30s, maybe.
He hasn't had 30 yet this season in 4-point touchdown leagues.
Yep.
So I wouldn't say 30 because I don't know. The way the Chiefs offense is constructed, it's gonna have to be like a bad defense and a shootout. Not saying that Mahomes can't do it. I don't really think this is a team that is putting up 40 points right now. But I do really like it. I would say maybe 25 plus.
Okay.
It's the Broncos. It's a good matchup. The only game the Broncos have really played well on defense this year was last week against Zach Wilson. So now they got the Chiefs. It's a whole different world.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he's a good start, 25 plus, and he's probably a top 3 quarterback in my rankings this week.
Bro, I ain't going to lie. What happened? Like, Blaine Gabbert's their backup, and I'm looking at his picture right now on Player Profiler. What happened to this dude? You don't even look like the same human being. He's got like a mullet. Go check him out.
He looks like he works at
he really
a truck driver on the weekends.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what he does on the weekends. Mahomes is like,
during the week.
Hey, go watch this film. Go watch this film, Blaine. Sure, dude.
Sure,
I'll do it in the truck on the way to the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mahomes should be fine this week. Running backs, you know that GIF that floats around the internet sometimes, and it's like it's that 3-headed like dragon looking thing, and then there's 2 like dragons that look fierce and evil, and then there's another dragon that looks like fun and like nice, and the other 2 dragons are looking at. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. This backfield is like the dragon that looks fun all 3 times, not any of them look fierce. You got Pacheco, you got McKinnon, you got Edwards-Helaire.
I'll say this.
What?
Pacheco right now is the RB12 through 5 weeks.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So maybe it's 2 fun-looking ones and 1 serious one.
He had 9, 8, 15, 24, and 13. Yeah, so he's doing good since they started giving him the full workload, getting a touchdown a game. His big thing is the touchdown upside. I think that's where, like, in the Chiefs'
he's the
offense,
goal line back.
He's the goal line back in the Chiefs' offense, and they're going to get down there 100 times out of 100, and he's a fierce runner, so there'll be opportunities for him to score tutties. Jerick McKinnon Like, and just because of that, obviously, you're going to start Pacheco probably anyway, and he should be fine in this game. But
And it's a great matchup. The Broncos' rush defense is the worst in the league right now.
Obviously, we're not doing anything with Clyde. He's dead. But
no, Clyde's dead.
Jerick McKinnon is a guy that we talked about on waiver wires. This might be an okay matchup because of pass catching, but I don't know if it's going to be particularly close. And because of that, it makes Jerick kind of unusable if it's a blowout. Like,
very unappealing.
Yeah, unappealing matchup. So I will sit him this week.
I'm not touching McKinnon or Clyde, but I will say it's a Thursday night game. I could totally see this being a week where McKinnon gets.
Oh my god, I know. This is the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs.
This feels like a McKinnon touchdown week.
Why is this? Why does this happen to superstar football teams? By the way, like freaking all NFL history.
Because they're good teams, and when good teams have good players, they'll use those good players. But it also will open up stuff for the bad players. Not saying McKinnon's bad, but like the other guys.
Yeah, McKinnon.
Because you can use guys as decoys.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so yeah, like Pacheco's fine. Touchdown upside.
I actually really like Pacheco this week.
He scored 3 touchdowns. He scored a touchdown in 3 straight games, so I don't know if that continues happening, but we'll see.
It might this week. I think they're going to destroy. It's a positive game script. And it's a good matchup against the bad run defense.
Okay.
So I like Pacheco.
Sky, at the receiver position, you got Sky Moore.
Yuck.
MVS.
Yuck.
Justin Watson. Rashee Rice. Yuck. Kadarius.
Yuck.
Toney. Justin Ross. I'm going to give you a list of guys to not play this week.
Okay. Sky
Moore, MVS, Justin Watson, Kadarius Toney, Rashee Rice, Justin Ross.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Isn't that the whole wide receiver core?
Yeah, that pretty much is. I really wanted Kadarius Toney to be good. I desperately wanted it.
Yeah.
If you can't survive here, you can't survive anywhere.
No. I mean, even last year, like when he had his good moments, he was relying on touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had a touchdown yet this season.
The 2 guys I will say that I would keep an eye on for fantasy football in this game are Sky Moore and Rashee Rice, because I think they both have shown at least a little bit of being somewhat decent. But this team is like, they play MVS a lot because he's their stretch guy. So, like, he's on the field as one of the guys. Even though he doesn't produce fantasy-wise, he stretches the field and he makes defenses think because Mahomes has to chuck the ball.
Right, and once a game he'll give it to him.
Yep. So and it's
just that alone will get them thinking about it.
Right. So like MVS not good for fantasy, but he starts for this football team, and then it's like a rotation of guys in 12 or 13 personnel.
I will tell you, I wouldn't like Sky Moore. I wouldn't touch him with a 10 football. I would not touch any of these guys. The only guy I would be Rashee Rice, but he's kind of touchdown
for this game or for fantasy football rest of the season.
Kind of both.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Kind of both.
Yeah, it's just
maybe Sky Moore has. I see, but I don't.
Larger.
He's had 1 good game and 4 bad ones.
Larger fantasy perspective on this whole season, though, and moving forward with the receiver room for the Chiefs. Like, how many years are they going to spend a 2nd-round pick on a receiver, and we're all just going to buy in, and he's not going to be great? And how many years in a row are we just going to keep like trying to buy in on all the Chiefs receivers for them just not to be good? Like, maybe there's just not.
I think they're going to do. I don't know. I mean, Rashee Rice looks like he could be good.
Yeah. But like we did this with Sky Moore, because he looks about as good as Sky Moore did last year.
Yeah, I think he looks better. I think he looks better because I mean he only had a 30% snap percentage and he had 13 points this week.
I'm just waiting for the Chiefs to get a dog. Like when they do, that's the guy I'll buy.
Yeah, right.
I'm waiting for the Chiefs to fork over that 2nd-round pick that they've been wasting on wide receivers that aren't working to the Denver Broncos for Jerry Jeudy.
Rice had 11, 4, 10, 6, 13. So that's not great, but he's been flexible.
And Justin Ross got into an actual football game last week, so that's a good news. If you're a Justin Ross
game. He did, and he had a drop.
Yeah, dropped it right out of his hand. Travis Kelce, I'm going to pull up the practice reports because he kind of looked like he tore his Achilles, and then it was a high ankle sprain, and then he came back into the game after they shot him up. He's questionable for this week. I don't know if it doesn't look like there's any practice report information yet, but he has a low ankle sprain so far. I would imagine that he gets it shot up and plays in Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
But I don't see a reason why the Chiefs need to do that. They're going to win a lot of football games. You don't need to force Travis Kelce on the field. Like, I would wait for him to get healthy because you're going to need him for some kind of playoff run. Like,
I would agree.
There's no
but
business happening.
It's Travis Kelce, so he's probably going to play.
Yep.
He's one of those players that, like, remember how pissed he was week 1 that he didn't play? Even though he got hurt like 2 days before the game.
Yeah. Yep. So he'll
and then this week he tried to go back in the game. Like, I think he's going to force his way in the lineup unless it's really bad.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. Keep an eye on practice reports, but obviously if he's a go, he's in the game, he's fine. He'll catch a touchdown. He'll do whatever it is. He's a good fantasy tight end. So
would you stream Noah Gray if Kelce's out?
Heck no. I'm good.
Yeah, that's fair. He had 6 points in week 1 and he had 10 in week 4.
That means that, like, if for a team that wins a lot of football games and is probably going to score like 30 points in this game,
yeah,
there's 0 fantasy assets besides Pacheco and Mahomes.
And Kelce.
And Kelce. Yeah, I mean, I was saying that if Kelce doesn't play.
Oh, if Kelce doesn't play?
Yeah.
I'll give you Rashee Rice if Kelce's out.
All right. You're backing down here.
I don't love it, but I think he would get like 10 to 12 points.
Okay. All right. I mean, whatever.
That's a flex.
All right. Let's talk about this game. I think Rick and I are both going to go in the same exact direction here. Chiefs or Broncos?
Yeah, I give the Broncos about a 2% chance. I'll take the Chiefs.
I will take the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I will say, this is one of those wacky division games. In a prime time on Thursday night. It's a great spot for the Broncos to maybe pull off an upset. But that's not happening. So, Rick and I both have the Chiefs.
Uh-huh.
I'm typing it now.
Well, it is, those random division games, right? And it's Thursday night, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you tell me when the last time the Broncos beat the Chiefs?
Last year.
According to this, it was 2015.
Oh, that's terrible. Never mind. Chiefs all the way.
They have not beaten the Chiefs since Peyton Manning.
That stinks. All right. We'll see you later, guys. Hopefully you enjoy Thursday football.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube and follow us on Twitter @TheFFChamps.